if you could turn your ideas into working code faster, easier, and with a lot less effort? That is exactly where Claude Code comes in. If you want to improve your AI skills and learn a really useful new tool, this course is for you. In this course, we are going to explore Claude Code and see how it can help you write code, build projects, and work faster in a much easier way. Claude Code is not just another AI tool. It makes coding simpler and helps you turn your ideas into real working projects. Even if you're just getting started or you already have some coding experience, this tool can make your work smoother and more productive, trust me. And in this course, we're not just going to talk about it. We'll go step by step, use it in a practical way, and understand how it actually works. You will learn how to use its features, how to connect it with your workflow, and how to start using it in your own projects. So if you want to learn Claude Code in a simple and practical way, you are at the right place. So before we deep dive, let's look at what all we are going to cover in our today's video. First of all, we will start with a Claude Code setup and see how to connect it with your code editor for a smooth flow. Then we will explore the basic beginner-friendly features of Claude Code, including important modes and shortcuts that help you use your tool effectively. Next, we will understand model selection, GitHub integration, memory architecture, and how tasks work inside Claude Code. After that, we will move into advanced topics like adding MCP servers, using skills in Claude Code, working with Nimbalyst as a visual editor, and also understand subagents. And finally, we will explore some other useful features of Claude Code so you get complete practical understanding of this tool. So make sure you stay till the end because by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how to start using this code confidently for your projects. And also just a quick information, if you are ready to transform your career with AI and automation, then join the professional certification program in generative AI, machine learning, and intelligent automation by IHFC TIH of IIT Delhi, powered by Simplilearn. In this 11-month live online program, you will learn from top experts and gain hands-on experience with 20+ AI tools and libraries. You will work on 12+ industry projects and master the latest technologies in generative AI. Plus, you will unlock exclusive opportunities like the IHFC Executive Club status and a chance to be the part of the startup incubation. The course also includes a 2-day campus immersion at IIT Delhi and the opportunity to earn Microsoft course completion badges. Plus, we will help you stand out in the job market with personalized career support. So do check out the link in the description box and in the pinned comments for more details. So before moving forward, here's a quick quiz question for you. And the question is, what is Claude Code AI primarily used for? And your options are option A, generating images, option B, performing voice recognition, option C, understanding and generating human-like text, or the option D, managing databases. Let me know your answers in the comment section below and let's see who will give the right answer first. So let's deep dive into the magic of Claude Code, and by the end of this course, you will not only understand its power, but you will also have the skills to unleash it in your own projects. Are you ready to take your AI journey to the next level? So let's get started. So let's first understand what is Claude Code actually is. So basically, Claude Code is a tool that allows you to create AI applications by simply describing what you want to build in plain English. You don't need to know how to code. The tool will translate your descriptions into working code, making it easy to build AI-driven solutions quickly. So we can also give a tagline to Claude Code, which is code made simple, or we can say code made super simple. So basically, Claude Code is a part of Claude AI, and it needs a subscription to work on. If we will use a free version of Claude AI, then Claude Code would not get the access. So we need to check the subscription first. So let me show it to you. So here I have opened the Claude pricing page, and you can see that here we have 3 plans: a free plan, a pro plan, and a max plan. So Free plan obviously costs you $0, but here you will not get the access to Claude Code. But Pro plans include the Claude Code, here you can see, and it will cost you around $17 monthly. Now, I would suggest that if you are just looking to mess around with this, get the cheapest plan for your Claude. And the cheapest plan is Pro plan. And if you will use the free plan, then you will get out of credits very quickly. Because if you will work on a heavy project, it will not work for you. So I highly recommend using Pro plan, which has the sufficient number of credits, which will help you perform your demos, your projects very comfortably. And I will recommend you to use Max plan only when you are familiar with all the Claude features, and once you are comfortable, then switch to Max plan. Before that, I'll highly recommend you to check only the Pro plan. So now I will recommend you to open any of the terminal, either Windows PowerShell, or you can even open like terminal or command prompt depending upon your system. But if you are using Windows, I'll highly recommend you opening PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. Here you will find Windows PowerShell. See, the window has popped up. Now we need to install the Claude first into our system. Now to install Claude Code into your system, you need to go to this docs, Claude Code official docs website. Here, when you will scroll down, you will see different commands that you can use for Mac OS, Linux, or your Windows PowerShell. So whatever command prompt or environment you are using, you need to install that Claude Code using that particular command only. So for example, if you are using Mac OS, then copy paste this command in your terminal. If you are using Windows PowerShell, that is highly recommended, then you need to copy paste this to install Claude in your device. And in case of command prompt, you need to copy paste this. So as of now, I'm copy pasting this command. Here we can paste this and we can paste enter so that Claude is successfully installed in our device. Just wait for a while and the Claude Code is being setting up, and it is successfully installed in our device. Now just to check whether it is installed successfully or not, you just need to write Claude in your terminal. This will verify if it is successfully installed or not. See, this window has been popped up. It means it is being successfully installed in our device. Now I have something other thing to show you up, which is the Claude Code desktop version. So just to get started with the desktop app of Claude Code, you can visit its official website. From here, you can download it for Mac OS or for Windows. So if you are using Windows, you can download it from here. So basically, the desktop app of Claude Code has 3 tabs. First is chat, other one is co-work and code. So basically, the chat version, when you will download, you will see a chat version on Claude Code. That is the desktop app. So basically, the chat version of desktop is just a general conversation with no file access, similar to Claude AI. Where if we talk about co-work, then it is basically an autonomous background agent that works on tasks in a cloud VM with its own environment. And lastly is code, which is used for interactive coding. So I highly recommend you, once you get familiar with the basic features of Claude, you go and download the desktop version. That will be more sufficient and more beginner friendly and more efficient for you to work with your code. So here in the beginning, we are just looking at the dependencies. I know we need to install a lot of things to get the Claude Code working super perfectly in your system. It might be intimidating in the start, but trust me, once you'll figure out everything, then Claude Code is the super fun thing to work on. It will automate all your tasks and you do not have to code manually everything. So initially, you need to give time and follow along with me and download all the dependencies that are really required to work with Claude. So next thing we need to download is Git. So make sure the Git is installed properly in your device. And if you don't know how to install Git in your computer, you can simply give the prompt to Claude Code that please install Git in the computer. If you already have the Git in your system, it will show you. And if not, then it will automatically gives you the command that will help you to install Git. Follow along and then install as shown here in the system. Or else you can also visit the official website, which I'll show you right now. Just click on the official website of Git. and you can directly install for Windows from here. So basically, Git is a tool that's going to allow you to essentially kind of checkpoint what Claude is doing and revert back to a previous version of your code base in case it makes any mistakes. You won't have to be like, so basically you won't be having Git in your device like automatically or by default. So just you have the two options and download it successfully in your system. Now, the next thing is I highly recommend you creating a GitHub account for your system that you can, I hope you must have been created like previously, you must have a GitHub account, but not, then again you can visit the official website of Git from here, like type GitHub and click here, sign up for GitHub. If you have the account, you can log in, and if you don't have, you can sign up. I already had the account, so this page has been popped up. So the reason why I'm telling you to create one is that so here we are going to connect our Claude to GitHub so that it is able to actually create new repositories for us and save all the code that we are writing from the very beginning so that we don't lose anything. So you know about GitHub. It is essentially a website or a kind of a remote location where we can store different code. So rather than just having it on our computer, we can store it with GitHub where we can access it from another machine. We can share it with another developer, and more importantly, if we lose access to maybe our own computer or maybe we delete the folder or Claude messes up with something, we can always get the repository or the code again by going to this website. So go to GitHub, make the account, it is completely free. Now we need to connect our Claude with the GitHub account. So need not worry, just whatever the problem you are facing, whatever the solution you want, give the prompt to Claude Code and it will do it for you. Just now we want to connect it, so just I'm typing here. Let's suppose I'll type here, I want to connect my GitHub account to my Claude account, so please connect it for me, and it will automatically connect it for you. Now, rather than just using the terminal here, a lot of times you are going to use it with any of the development environment. What I mean to say is, like you can use any of the development environment like VS Code, Cursor or JetBrains IDE. So you can actually see what Claude Code is doing and not just having this terminal view. So for example, a very popular editor is Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to write every command what I want Claude to work on in the Visual Studio Code. You can even download Cursor, which is one of the most advanced tool just related to Visual Studio, but more advanced. It is connected to AI and it has some advanced features. So basically you can visit the official website of Cursor and easily download it from there. But as of now, I'm using Visual Studio Code for my project. So this is my Visual Studio Code window, and here I will create a new folder where our coding projects will live. So go here, File, Open Folder, and let's see, I'll create a new folder naming as Claude Code Project. You can name anything as per your wish, and I can select the folder. And now it is being opened into our Visual Studio Code editor. Here we can tick this, yes, I trust the authors. See, here the project has been created. Now here all our files will live. So now this is our terminal. Here, just to verify whether the Claude was installed, we will write Claude here. Or we can say just to go into Claude, we have to write Claude here. So here it is asking the permission from us. So I am typing yes, I trust this folder. So now we are into Claude. See, before Claude, like let's suppose we want to create a tic-tac-toe game. So we had to write lots of code, HTML file, CSS, and lot of thinking behind it, logic behind it. But using Claude, it has been very simple. We just can give a simple prompt to this Claude AI, and like let's suppose we'll give, please make a tic-tac-toe game for us. You need not do anything, just press enter and Claude will work for you. I'll show you how, and you will be amazed to see the results that this is how our coding is being automated using this powerful software. So let me give the prompt like this. Make a toe game that I can run on web. And I have pressed enter. It has started, it's working. Meanwhile, we can see how much time it is taking to create a game and how much tokens it is utilizing. So as of now, it has utilized 126 tokens, as you can see on screen. So let's wait till the output comes on the screen to us. Can you see on the screen what used to write or take hours for us before Claude? Like we used to invest our precious time writing the style, body, container, everything. It has written automatically. The whole code is in front of you and you have just given a prompt. That's it. Here, you can make the updates according to your own choice. How you want the styling, the margins, or the heading color, font size, and so on. But the base code has been generated for you. So it is asking me, do you want to make this edit to tic-tac-toe HTML? So let's see, I give yes. It has started its functioning again. So now your game is being prepared already, and the features it includes are as follows: 2-player mode, versus AI mode, score tracking, winning highlights, and you can even start the new game, reset the scores. So the game is all set, and we can open this file, which is tic-tac-toe.html, in any browser to play. And I am giving the command. I don't want to do anything. I just want Claude to work for me. So I'm giving the command as open this file, which is tic-tac-toe.html, in any of the browser for me. I'll not do this even. And I pressed enter. Do you want to proceed? And I want to say yes. And let's see. Our game is all set and is being displayed on our screen. No hard work, nothing, just the power of giving a right prompt. So I think you must know how to play a tic-tac-toe game. You can play with any of your friends, your colleagues, your parents, and enjoy. You can even reset the scores from here. You can start a new game from here. So this is insane. Just one line of code and the whole game is ready. And as I have told you earlier, you can make the changes in the game according to your own requirement just by editing this HTML file. Also, one of the most amazing features of this is you can run Claude into two different windows. If one window of yours is performing some task, simultaneously you can perform another task like creating another game in the another window just by clicking on this plus symbol, and then you will be opening to a new terminal. So, but it is an advanced feature and we are right now covering beginner friendly features, so I'm not going deep into it, but just showing that you can simultaneously work on two different files. So basically, if you don't know something, you can directly ask Claude to do it for you, or else you can type /help, enter, and this will give you all the general kind of shortcuts or list of commands you think and you want to use. Just like toggle here in general, you can go into general, you can go into command where you can like use the down arrow key and see the different commands like #clear helps you start with a new session. What does #color do? It sets the prompt bar color. What compact does, what config. So whatever command you want to test or you want to know what that actually does, you can directly type -help and everything will be visible to you on your screen. And if you want to get out of it, you can directly click escape and you will be get out of this help command. You can see help dialog is being dismissed. Now another topic we'll cover is different types of mode we can use into Claude, or different types of mode that are actually present in Claude. So the default mode is code mode. You don't need to do anything. Whatever you are writing here, you are writing in the default mode, that is code mode. And also, before we go forward, you can even use this question mark symbol for the shortcuts. If you want to know how many shortcuts are present or what shortcut can be used, you can directly type this and you will find different shortcuts. Like if you want to go into bash mode, you can use explanatory, / for commands, @ for file path, and the end symbol for background, and so on. So it is so simple. So we were talking about different modes. So we have covered the code mode. And if you want to change the mode, let's suppose I want to work on a planning mode. I will get into this mode, but let's first understand how we can change the different modes. So for this, you just need to press Shift plus Tab and it will get you into different modes. Right now, we are into plan mode because it is visible here, like plan mode is on. And if you want to cycle along with different modes present here, we can directly press this Shift Tab and this works into accept mode, edit mode, and we are again into plan mode. And code mode is the default mode. So let's first understand about the plan mode, which is one of the most important modes in Claude Code. Let's suppose you typed anything by mistake, like anything. So to get out of it, you just need to press escape 2 times and it will all be erased. If you want to erase anything by mistake, you can like double press the escape and it will be done. And if you want to go and check what I typed earlier, like without writing everything manually again and again, you can just toggle between this upper arrow in your keyboard and the down arrow. It will show you all the commands that you have used earlier and you can directly enter this rather than typing everything manually. So this is another very important features and helpful features of Claude Code. One more thing I want to cover. Let's suppose we want a line break or we want to go into a different line. If we press enter, the command will be submitted to the editor, but we don't want this. We want to go into a separate line. So just write something, hello, and to go down, you just need to press Alt plus enter and it will take you to the different line or to the next line. Let's suppose hello world. So yeah, this is also one of the features and one of the thing you should know in the beginner level, because I am making this tutorial considering that you can cover everything from the basics. So let's basically understand the planning mode now. So the most important part about AI coding is actually knowing what you exactly want. If you don't know what you want and you let the agent steer you, you are going to get horrible and crazy results, take you forever to debug and change. But what if you are very clear and specific on what you want and you have to do all one small task at that time, give the exact prompt, and you will get fantastic results and create amazing stuff, trust me. You don't need to do anything, you just need to write down your thoughts into Claude and it will automatically come up with your idea. So you can use whisper flow, just it is used as an audio, whatever you say it listens and type here. But as of now I'm writing the prompt, like what I actually want. Just I want to type my thoughts and it will work for me. So this is the prompt I have given. I want to create a simple top-down shooter game that is runnable in the browser. I want to have some sprites or at least cool kind of like character animation. I want my characters to have a gun. I want enemies to kind of be coming at me from different angles. I want to be able to move with the arrow keys and then use my mouse to kind of point and click at different enemies and shoot them. We should have levels, we should have progress clearly, we should have a menu screen, and we should keep it relatively simple and kind of like a 2D retro style. So you can see here, I have described everything how I want my future game to be. So just I have given the prompt and I'll press enter. Or we can even say like create a plan for me for this game and then start coding for me. We can give this prompt or we can even press enter, but let me give it. So I'm writing create a plan for me, as if it will be automatically creating a plan because we are already into a plan mode, and start coding and press enter. It has started its work. We can see how many tokens it is utilizing, how much time it will take. Let's wait for it. Let's wait for the amazing output. Now it is designing top-down shooter game architecture for us. And up till now, it has utilized 2.3k tokens. It may take some time. You need to wait just for the output. Now you can see the design is ready, but the Claude is writing the final plan for us. You need to wait for the amazing output. Here you can see it has utilized 9.5678K tokens. So investing $17 per month is not that great deal, because it is going to ease your work like anything. You can build many amazing projects just by giving a simple prompt, and you can earn dollars by this website, like 10x dollars what you have invested. So it is worth investing at least into the pro plan. So after a long break, the output is here and it has created the complete plan for us. See how the layout will be shown, the screens, whatever we have given into the prompt, it has taken care of all these, like game over, victory, level complete, how the game will loop, what will happen if some collision occurs, and then the verification. And it has given us that open shooter.html in your browser and enjoy playing. So it is asking us, the plan is ready. Do you want to execute? Yes. I pressed enter. Now our plan is approved and it is building the game for us according to that plan. It has asked us because we can give the changes as well, that according to our requirement, we want this, we want the enemies to look like this. That's why it is asking us everything and then presenting the final output according to our requirement, whatever prompts we have given. Let's wait for this amazing game. You will also notice here that it has automatically shifted into accept edits mode, from planning to accept edits. So you can see on the screen, it has written the entire code for us, whatever we want. And now it is asking whether it is approved or not. Do you want to proceed? And I'll say yes. Now our game is ready and we can easily open it in our browser. And it has explained us what is in the game, like 5 levels, 3 waves, pixel art, 3 enemies type, screen shake, synthesized retro sound effects, menu screen, and everything. So we have opened it in our browser and let's see how amazing it is. See, from all the arrows we can side down, and by clicking this space, we can click. This is seriously amazing. I want to win this game. So, okay, the game is over unfortunately. So have you seen? Just writing a prompt of exactly what you want, the plan is prepared, and the game is on the screen. Your thoughts given to Claude, and Claude has done everything for you. And as I have told you earlier, you can make the changes according to your requirement and then pass the approval. That now everything is perfect, sorted, you can create the game. Now we will see how we can change the models. So basically there are 3 types of models in Claude Code. So let me type here model, click enter. And here you can see we have the 3 models, which is default, which is best for everyday tasks. Then the second model is opus, which is suitable for more complex work. And then there is haiku, which is fastest for quick answers. So by default, we are at the default model, which is highly recommended. And if you want to get out of this model, you can click escape. So this was just for your information, like how many models does this Claude Code AI supports. So one of the most important thing I want to remind you again, that if you are going to be working on a large project, I highly recommend you or instruct you to connect your Claude Code to GitHub repository and make the commits and save all the changes that it's making. So if you are facing any difficulty in connecting both of them, just type to Claude here only and it will give you the instructions, follow along and you will be sorted. I've already done it in my case, so I'm skipping this part. You can directly ask your Claude and it will give you the instructions and the prompts. Just follow along. I am telling you to push your code into GitHub so that we always have a saved version of the project. And it is easy for us to revert back in case we make any changes. So set up your GitHub repository, configure everything, and just use Git and GitHub for rest of your project. Don't skip this part or else you will regret later. Now we will understand something called memory. Let's suppose I'm exiting from the Claude now. Like this session, I pressed -exit and let us exit from this. Again, go into Claude by typing Claude here. We are again here and we give the prompt here, what did you do last? Let's suppose we are asking it. See, no memory has been saved from previous sessions, so I have no record of past work. So that's an important thing to understand about Claude sessions, is that you don't have the kind of unlimited memory like other apps or tools. And that's why we are going to talk about another important features of Claude AI, which is Claude MD file. Now, Claude MD file is something that will allow you to have a persistent memory. So whatever we do in previous session, it is automatically saved in that particular file. So now we need to create the MD file. And for this, we will type the command as -init. And you can even read this instruction that this particular command helps you initialize a new claude.md file with your codebase doc. Press enter here and it will create a claude.md file for you. And now everything will be added in that file. So that even if you come out of the session, you have the memory saved. Let's wait for it. So it is asking, do you want to make this edit to Claude MD? Of course, yes. Now we can ask what we did in our project just to check its memory. See, it has gone back to the Claude MD file and took out everything, both the tic-tac-toe game and our shooter game. Everything it has displayed here. So another important concept we learned is memory. Now let's talk about tasks. So let me type here TASKS tasks. So this particular command will give us all the background task it is running. And as of now, no background task has been running on our system. So if you want to go back or escape from, so if we want to get out of this, we can easily do it by pressing escape. And if something is running in background, let's suppose some task is running in background, then we can kill that task by pressing K on your keyboard and it will kill that particular task. And you must be wondering why we want to kill the background task. So background tasks are typically going to be the things like web servers that are running continuously and that you don't want to block the execution of your Claude Code instance. So you don't want to mess up with the things or your actual tasks get affected or interrupted. So you prefer killing that extra task. Now let's look at the other features. So we are talking about agents. Let me type here agents. So basically you can create agent and these agents can perform special tasks and you can delegate tasks to them. So for an example, you could have an agent that is handling doing a styling or like changing the user interface. An agent is responsible for the backend. In simple terms, you can delegate the tasks between agents so it would be more systematically worked and the output would be more clear and more specific. So you can create as many as agents you want. Now, another command that is /mcp. It is clearly written here, mcp manage mcp servers. So let's suppose you want to connect your Claude to Notion, Gmail or Google. Then you can easily do it with this MCP servers. And you can simply press this hyphen, this slash, to check all the commands we are having in Claude Code, like init, code review, add directory, advisor, agents, autofix, branch. So you can get the description here only and you can perform the task as you want according to your project requirement. If you want to start a new session, you can clearly write clear, color, compact, and even the config if you want to open the config panel. So take your time and explore all these commands. Of course, I cannot cover all these commands in this tutorial, but I'm telling you that these many features you are having here. Exit, fast, and so on, so on. So as much as you will practice, you will become more pro in this code. Now I want to explain you about one of the most important commands, that is skills. Let me type here skills. So basically, I had created a code review skill which is already on. You might be confused like what skills is now. So basically, you can actually create skills that are essentially repeatable tasks that Claude does all of the time. You can take it or understand it like just like functions. We have functions in our programming language, right? Where we create a function for all the task which we can reuse later if the code wants. Like we don't want to write the entire code again, we can just invoke that function, just like skills are. If we want that code to perform a particular task again and again for different projects, we can directly invoke the skill and then it will be sorted. We don't need to give the prompt again and again. So rather than creating an agent, you can create a skill and then you can run a particular skill just by saying something like whatever you need. Or you can even give the prompt, hey, you know that I have given you a skill where I have taught you to do this. So it will go look up to that skill and then be able to run it continuously. So you can see how powerful this can be to just get you really do what you want by not repeatedly doing the task. I will explain you how you can create skills later on. As of now, let's look at other commands. Next, we have insights command. Let me type here, insights. So this command basically generates the report analyzing our Claude Code session. Let me click here. So basically a report that will show you how to use Claude Code, talk to you about mistakes that you are making, things that you are doing well, where Claude Code is working for you, where it's not working for you, and generate a full web page with all of the results. So let's wait for it. It's cooking. So it has generated the report for me in report.html file. And this is your shareable insights. You can share this file to anybody. You can visit your default browser and you can see the entire report it has generated for you. Now, without wasting any more time, let's go into another command, that is cost command. I'm just showing the important commands to you. Other commands you can practice on your own. So if you are running on some kind of API or paid version, you can run this and see how much it is costing to you. So because I'm using a paid subscription here, which I have told you earlier in the beginning, that is why it is showing your subscription to your Power Claude Code usage is as follows. And it has given me the exact breakdown. Now the next command, that is context, and press enter. This particular command will show you all of the things that are being used in your current context and give you kind of what percentage of them are from, what different sources are from there. See, it has given me the context usage, the total number of tokens we have utilized here, which is 200k. Estimated usage by category, like by category how many tokens we have utilized, and what all MCP tools we have used here. Skills we have utilized, which I have shown you like code review. Here, as we have seen different MCP servers loaded here, here you will notice that depending on what MCP provider you are using or how you set up MCP, you may have a ton of tools here that are being loaded and you just don't need that. It is just utilizing your memory space. So I would highly recommend disabling tools that you are not using in a particular session, because that will save you a lot on the context and also just make Claude Code a little bit faster and easier to run. Because it's not going to be searching through a ton of tools that you are just not actively using. So this will make your system much more faster, and that is why it is one of the most potential features of Claude Code. Now let's look at the other command, which is compact. Let's press enter. So this particular command is going to clear the current history that you have to keep a summary of that is in the context. So if you are getting near to the context window, or you just don't want to be as expensive because the context window is quite large, you can compact this. Again, what it will do is summarize the current conversation and include a small amount of tokens in the session, so that you can keep going with the same session without losing everything. So basically, compact is not always the best strategy, but it's just a command that you should be aware of. It is just kind of a command, basically. So these were some of the basic commands we have discussed. Now I want to explain you MCP servers in details, even the skills. So you can add MCP servers at different levels. Like you can add them at project level, at a user level, or even at a global level. So just be aware of when you are adding these and the scopes in which you are creating these different tools. Because if you want it to be a global, for example, but you don't add it in the project, then you won't see it in the other Claude code sessions. The way this works is that Claude is automatically going to create a folder called .claude inside of the project where you are working with Claude Code. So make sure while using it. Now I just want to get out of this session, so I'll be pressing exit. And I basically want to show you how the skills actually work in this Claude Code environment. We will look about this skill in deep. Like we'll explain and we'll understand this very thoroughly with all the examples. So basically, skills are learned behavior from Claude. Skills are not really actions that Claude Code is taking or like a tool that it's calling. It's more so a behavior that it's learning how to do and it's documenting itself. All that a skill is really just a markdown file. And a markdown file is just a fancy formatted text file that explains to a step-by-step process that it should follow. So basically, when people start talking about skills, what they're saying is, let's suppose we're saying this to our terminal, hey, we have this workflow or this repeatable thing to do. So rather than just prompting Claude explaining to it over and over again, what we can do is we can wrap that kind of workflow or a repeatable task in a skill, which is effectively just a file. And then when we want to do something in the future, we can just reference that skill and Claude Code will execute that for us. So that's basically a skill is. And it will be useful when you actually use them inside of a project to do something repeatable, just like we do in functions when we talk about programming languages. Let me explain it to you with an example. Let's suppose if you are always changing some line in a file, whenever something updates, or maybe that's a skill that you create for the Claude. If you want to review the code in a certain way, where you are looking for maybe things that Claude doesn't do by default, then you can create a code review skill and then you can point it out to do that certain task. So now I just want to show you how we can create our own custom skills in Visual Studio Code and how we can use it and invoke it in our project. Let's suppose I'm giving a prompt like this, a basic prompt, review this code, and I'm pressing enter. Let's see what it gets. So I have given it a code review skill previously, so it is like analyzing that skill, and according to that skill, it is reviewing our project file. I'll show you how you can create your custom skill, just showing you the example right now that I've already created an skill. See here, it has generated everything so systematically. The way we want, the code quality, performance, error handling, suggestions, everything so perfect. Because we have given it the skill and it is now taking that skill and performing the task for us. Need not do it repeatedly. Claude will do it for us. And now if you want to create the skill, you do not need to do some fancy stuff. You just need to give your prompt to Claude that please create a skill for me and it will do it for you. So I'm writing here is, hey, create a new code review skill for me, and then I will give the prompt to the Claude Code. So I have given the prompt as, hey Claude, create a new code review skill for me. Now we can explain it what we want the skill to be, like what task it should perform. Now talking about the benefit is that you can actually have Claude Code make these skills completely for you, and if you don't just give it enough detail on what you want, then it will document the process and make the skill by default for you. Then you can run that particular skill and you can tell Claude Code to continuously improve the skill until you get it to the place where you are happy and satisfied enough. So here I'm going to paste a prompt, which is just an example of what a skill should look like. So let me just copy paste the prompt. So I've copy pasted the prompt and it is asking me, do you want to proceed? And I'll say yes. And it will create a perfect skill for me named as code review. A custom skill that is being designed according to my requirement and the project requirement. The best part is it takes the permission. Everything it executes, before executing, it takes the permission of us, whether we are satisfied or not. And we can make the changes before giving the final approval. So we have given the structure to be followed to our Visual Studio Code, and it has followed exactly the same. And see the amazing output we have got. The skill is being created, and now the Claude Code will work according to this skill. Whenever it is required, it will invoke this skill automatically. So let's test this code review skill by just coming out of this session by pressing exit, then going back to skill. And this particular command will show us the list available of all the skills we have created. And see, we have created the code review skill and it is on, like it is working for us in the background. Now we can even check this particular skill by typing /code-review. So this is reviewing our two games that we have created in the same format we have given above. And now the result will be given to us in the perfectly right format. So now you should be creating a lot of different skills, make them at a global level. If there is a skill that you want to be at the global level, then you can simply ask Claude to put it into the global or the local level according to your requirement. So you can just give the prompt, I want to move this particular skill to the global level, and the task would be done. You can simply ask Claude Code to build the skill for you, review it, read it, make sure you understand it, and then adjust it as needed. And you are going to get a lot better performance out of Claude Code, trust me. Now it is also worth noting down that Claude can automatically invoke these skills for you. So while you can just run the commands to execute the skills, you don't need to. You can just say something that would invoke the skill being used, and Claude Code will automatically figure out that it needs to be called. Let's suppose we typed, hey, I'm doing a code review. This is how Claude will work. It will say, let me look at the skills I have. Oh, it will figure out if we have the code review skill with us. So let's use that, and then it will invoke it for you. And you can see if it does right, and so this is how the entire scenario will work for you. Now deep dive and let me show you the advanced features of Claude Code, which is the visual representation to work with Claude Code, because right now we are directly inside of the terminal and it can be very difficult to actually see and understand what Claude Code is doing in the backend. So for this, we are going to use advanced features of Claude Code, and that tool is known as Nimbalyst. So let me show you how Nimbalyst actually look like. So you can go to your default browser and you can type Nimbalyst and you can visit its official website. So this is the homepage of Nimbalyst website where we can download it for our device, whether you are using Windows or Mac OS or Linux, accordingly you can download. So basically, it will give you a visual representation how Claude Code is actually working in the backend. Not just the theory in the front end, okay, we are giving commands and it is giving us the output, but actually see what is happening inside or behind the backend system. So I highly recommend you to download this in your system. And for every project, you connect your project with this software and see the actual working of it. I've already downloaded it in my system. So I'll type Nimbalyst here. So this is how the interface of this tool looks like. where we have different features, like we can see plans, bugs, tasks, ideas, automations, and everything at one place. We can create the plan from here. We can add the agents from here. See, here we can create new sessions. We can track the items. So this is really amazing. And when you will work, you will see how important this tool really is. And another thing to note down is it is specially designed to work with both of the codes, whether it is Claude Code and Codex. Now, and it is completely free. It is an open source software. You can download it from its official website, just like I showed you. And you can just open any of the projects in this software and show how it actually works. So you can explore its docs file and you will have a complete idea about how we can connect our Claude Code with this software. Just another features I want to make you familiar with about this is you can have custom extensions in this. So what I actually had to do is you can just say build a custom extension so I can view all of my documentation for my project. Then we can just put that directly into our Claude Code window, and then Nimbalyst actually builds its own extension. So this is also another cool feature of Nimbalyst. And then the last thing that I have to mention is they also have a mobile phone app. So what you can do is you can actually monitor all of your sessions and interact with Nimbalyst and your Claude Code session through mobile itself. So you can directly download the app. Again, it's all free, open source, and that's the only reason I'm mentioning it to you guys. Please go check out and download it. It is crazy. Now, moving forward, I want to explain you about subagents, another cool feature of Claude Code. Now, subagents get confused quite frequently because there's a multiple ways that you can use subagents within Claude Code. Basically, a subagent is effectively just another AI agent that's running with its own context window outside of your main Claude Code session. So right now, I'm in a session, correct? So let's suppose I create a new session for Claude Code. Now I can ask it to do something. That's fine. But I can also tell it to delegate a task to a subagent or multiple subagents. So I'm going to show you how we can do this. Now, whenever I'll show you what it's going to happen is, Claude Code will create multiple different versions of itself effectively that have their own context and their own prompt or kind of a task they need to achieve, and just go out there and achieve them. So that's the first thing that we are referring to when we talk about subagents. It's like multiple little agents that you can sign up to break down a task right. And you also can create custom subagents. And when you create a custom subagent, you can give it a set of instructions that it always follows. And you can reuse that agent multiple times. So again, you can go to your main Claude Code terminal and you can tell it, hey, go use my code reviewer agent. Or you can say, go use my GitHub agent or use my deployment agent and so on. And it will invoke that particular agent and perform the task for you. And in case if you don't do that, Claude Code creates the agent by itself. I'm going to show you how we can do this. We can just type agents. Then we can give the name as test writer agent. Here we are creating our custom agent according to our requirement. And here I will give the prompt exactly what this agents need to perform. So I've pasted the prompt which shows what exactly this agent needs to perform. Everything I've mentioned here. So it has created a custom sub agent for me. So the main difference between agent and skills is that agents are more flexible, they are general, and they are going to follow the system prompt and the kind of personas that you have given to them. Whereas a skill is typically a workflow that an agent might use. So you might have a lot of different skills, but only one or two agents. And to be very honest, you don't really need to create your own custom sub-agents, because if Claude needs one, it's usually better at creating its own custom sub-agents than you would be doing it for that. And you can tell Claude to make the agent and just save it persistently if you want to. So It has intense features, and I genuinely want you to go to the docs of Claude Code and explore all the features by your own, because I cannot complete or cover the entire features in one tutorial, right? So I want you, this is your homework, go check the other features, perform in your project, and excel in this Claude Code. If you want, I can attach this link in the description box below, and you just need to go and perform all these commands listed here. And as much as you will perform or practice, you will get better into it. So don't waste your time, start today. So that brings us to the end of this Claude Code Full Course. Today, we covered a lot of the features, from setup and installation to connecting Claude with your code editor, understanding features like model selection, GitHub integration, memory, tasks, MCP servers, skills, subagents, and even advanced features like Nimbalyst. So, if you stayed till the end, you now have very strong foundation to start exploring Claude Code on your own. And the best part is, Claude Code is not just a tool to save your time. It is the tool that can completely change the way you build, think, and work with code. So whether you are a beginner, a developer, or someone exploring AI-powered workflows, this is one of those tools that can genuinely level up your productivity. Now the next step is quite simple. Do not stop at just watching out this tutorial. Open the tool, start experimenting, try small projects, break things, fix them, and learn by building. Because that is where the real confidence comes from. If you enjoyed this course and found it helpful, do let us know in the comment section below, and also share what kind of projects you want to build using Claude Code. I would genuinely love to know this. And if you want to build deeper skills in generative AI, machine learning, and intelligent automation, then do check out the program link in the description box and in the pinned comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.